Hello, my name is Mary, and today we're going to talk about wines. I bet you didn't know that wines have been around for well over 6,000 years, and according to an article by Solis, it's traced way, way back. This article was written about wine as a biological fluid, and it was very, very interesting. The significance that wine plays in history is just phenomenal. And it does today too. It is a symbol of social friendship and celebration, and it's also used in religious ceremonies, in Eucharist in particular. And I think that's very important that we know a little bit about wine and develop social skills so that we're able to talk about wine and enjoy wine sensibly and order a glass or two of wine whenever you want and be comfortable with that. Dating or business meetings are hard enough without being stressed about what kind of wine you're going to order. Now, don't be scared by all those names. According to Wine Surprise, which is an online website about wine, it talks about all the varieties of wine. There are over 10,000 grapes, and that is ways that wine is named. And also, according to the article by Zimmerman in Canada Alive about wines and picnics, wines are also named by the countries they come from, such as Peace Porter in Germany or Champagne in France. And you cannot possibly remember all those names. So what I'm going to tell you now is about the 5 classifications of wine. And this comes from Better Homes and Gardens magazine, or Better Homes and Gardens cookbook, excuse me. And there are 5 basic classifications, and that's really all you need to know. There are 1, white, 2, rosé, 3 is red, 4 is dessert, or excuse me, 4 is sparkling, and 5 is dessert. Each of those wines, that's really all you need to know. And you might want to study up on which wines are in which classification. But the white wines are usually a Chardonnay or a Peace Porter or a Riesling, and those come in a glass like this, and they're very mellow. Now the rosé wines and the red wines tend to come in a larger glass. The red in particular, red wines are what they call dry. Dry means the opposite of sweet, and your mouth gets dry almost when you drink them. And sometimes when you order a glass of really red wine, really dark red wine, they will give you a glass of water with it because it's so dry. And all glasses of wine are usually served on a stem so that your hands don't affect the temperature. That's a little fun fact. And then champagne, of course, comes in a flute so that all your little bubbles can go to the top and you can see it, and it's very pretty. And I'm sure there's a technical name for that. But in Taste of Italica, a magazine, they suggest the bubbles rise to the top in the beautiful champagne glasses. Everything that I've read online, though, says that preference is your main thing. And whatever you like, you can drink your wine in a solo cup if that's what you prefer. Nothing is really wrong when it comes to wine. When you go to get a bottle of wine at a restaurant, it is suggested that you start with the 3 P's: price, pairing, and preference. Now, and you want to set your price first, because there are, in very upscale restaurants, people that are called wine stewards or wine masters, and all their job is to pick out wines for people with their dinners. And you know, they're going to try to sell you something more than you want to spend. So be aware of that. Set your price before you go. And the next thing that Wine Surprise suggests is that you know about your pairing. And the housekeeping, the Better Homes and Gardens and Good Housekeeping books all talk about this too. The general rule of thumb pairing wine with food is that if it's a light food, say that it's salad or a light pasta or chicken or fish, you go with the lighter wines. Now with steaks and your heavier things, you want to go with the darker wines, the red wines. And the dessert wines are great, but you have to be cautious with those because some of those are very sweet, and some of those you might not like. And port are considered under those according to the article by Solis, and the wine is a biological fluid, and that has quite a lot of alcohol content, so you might want to be a little careful with that. The dark wines, the Merlots, are very good though with chocolate, and that's a good Valentine tip. So now you're going to go to the restaurant and you're going to order some wine. Well, you know, you already decided your 3 P's. Now you may decide it's just too intimidating, you want to do a house wine, and that is perfectly fine. House wines are a great choice, and the Olive Garden in particular has a house wine that's crafted just for them, and it's excellent. And so are many of the other chain restaurants or larger restaurants, especially in the cities, and it's a good choice. White wine is a very good choice for women because it's mellow, doesn't get you too tipsy, and you can it doesn't stain your clothes or your teeth, and so it's just a nice choice. Okay, now you've decided though you're going to go ahead and you're going to order some wine. So what you want to do is, after you've asked your waiter for some help with this, you go ahead, you order. When the wine comes, be sure that you match it to what you got. Be sure that your cork looks okay. The waiter will show you the cork, and the cork is to never look very dry, because if it looks really dry, that means that the cork may have shrunk and that germs could have gotten inside of that, and then you wouldn't want to drink that. And that is why it's okay to send back. If your wine ever looks cloudy, if your wine ever tastes really acidy or vinegary, that means that the wine might not be any good. And that is actually what the waiter is wanting you to look at when he brings you the wine. Now the next thing you do is he'll pour the wine in this glass, and then you can take a little smell of it, see if it smells okay, and then give it a little swirl, and then you take a little sip. None of this should take longer than 30 seconds according to Taste of Italica. Now the next thing that you do is you just let the waiter pour the wine for everybody and you enjoy. One thing I didn't mention is that you can ask the waiter if there is a cork and bag policy. If there's a cork and bag, what that means is that the waiter will cork your wine, they'll bag it for you, and then you can take it back home with you so that you can drink responsibly. So in conclusion, I would like to say that wine is to be enjoyed. Never be intimidated by wine. You might want to read up a little bit more on wine so that you are more comfortable with it, but it's all about preference. It's all about what you like, and I hope you have learned something today. Thank you very much.